In some cases, yes, tortious liability can also be redressed by extra compensatory or punitive damages. Extra compensatory, yes, compensatory, yes, the extra compensatory, yes, that amount of money that I get. Now, I documented where I went to school, right? Not just the public school, right? But I did graduate from Northwest University, and I emailed the president of that university, yes, and they do have the liability, yes, of knowing of any graduate, yes, that is falsely accused of any crime. Well, it's part of their belief system. It's something that they're usually not held accountable for. Yes. Now, for the Catholics, yes. Life Pacific, ouch. For those that know about the libel of my sister, yes. I just want to mention that I'm wanting to sue you today. I want, yeah, to use the courts of the United States. See, when I apply for asylum in every nation of the world, yes, being the recipient, yes, of all this persecution, these institutions that go throughout the world, yes, supporting those that are being persecuted for their religion, yes, they're personally liable for the persecution of American citizens in the United States. Now, I'm one of these, yeah, that emailed them. Boo! And when you think about the amount of money that's spent, protecting persecuted Christians throughout the world, their very knowledge of the liability of the United States of America refusing to enforce the laws. Now that's the tortuous liability. Yes. Extra compensatory. Where I sue the Assembly of God, yes, for any knowledge that they have of kidnapping, trafficking in children, child exploitation, child abuse, child neglect, yes. And then the states of the United States, why don't you get me all the private institutions of higher learning? Yes, that because of their religious belief, they're allowed, well, states. Um, I actually didn't graduate from a public university. I graduated from a private university. That degree in organizational management. There's this problem. Yes. See, Brent Baisden, yes, reissued the protection order on June 1st of 2015. Yeah. But from what I can see, Heidi Budnick, yes, didn't believe that she needed the protections of the protection order. And then Brent Baisden, yes, scheduled a hearing 48 days later that happens to violate, yes, the requirements of the RCWs of the state of Washington. Then Brent Baisden issued the protection order, yes, that has the forgery of the ex officio Superior Court clerk, yes, has fraudulent statements that I received actual notice of the court hearing, had me served in the Squim Public Library. And then you served, yes, someone other than myself. Ouch. Now, this libel of saying that my wife and my sons needed protection from me, yes, because I was a crazed maniac that has to have a mental health evaluation because of the false accusation on July 8th of 2011 that my wife, not being a mental health expert, right, had you issue a protection order because of the false accusation of mental illness and mental defect. Now, when I wouldn't do your mental evaluations, oh, Christianity is liable for your persecuting of a Christian, a documented Christian that carries his Bible with him. Oh, a Christian that is arrested? Yes. And then when I say, yes, well, there was no jurisdiction for the mental health evaluation on October 6th of 2016 because I wasn't in Sequim, Washington. And then this interview that took place with Jack Range, yes, where Jack said, well, he's really crazy. Oh, am I really? Yes. There's no forgery on the protection order. Yes. I wasn't in Jefferson County on June 16th of 2017. See, this is also liable. Pooch. Mr. Budnick doesn't understand what the law says because he's not an attorney. When he had that private interview with Phyllis, the employee of the state, yes, where the state of Washington's going to libel, yes, and blaspheme residents of the state. Isn't that right, Governor? Bob, are you and the attorney generals in each and every state? See, it's one of these $1 billion for each state. Yes. And then compensatory damages, extra compensatory. Yes. And punitive damages for every public institution in the United States that has any knowledge of the fraud.